known for the world. Jon Jones, the greatest fighter of all time, potentially, possibly. The guy that retired recently, about 2 weeks ago, because he didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall, because he'd been there, done it. He's living his best life. He's got nothing more to prove. He walked away from the sport, essentially undefeated. He has been retired for 2 weeks, maybe less than that. That gets a bit blurry depending on what the timeline is. But according to Twitter, his Twitter, not general hearsay, Jon Jones has unretired. That is correct. He says that he is now back in the testing pool. Check this out. So, of course,
it's happening. White House. People are asking Dana about who's going to fight. I mean, it's impossible. They're not, I know Connor's throwing his name into the hat. I know Jon Jones, but like so much can happen in the next 56 days or something like that, or 55 days. But it really does seem like a real thing. And I said it when Trump announced it, I said it, it's going to happen. Or at least they're going to do everything in their power to make it happen. And there's old Johnny Boy back at it with the tweets. Can I be honest? I want to know what this testing pool is. I want to know what the testing pool is. What is the testing pool? Do we really think John exited the testing pool and then re-entered? Because I think I'm ready to call cap on that. Just re-entered the testing pool. That lasted for about 2 weeks. Figured we keep everyone's options open. Fighting at the White House?
Breaking, Jon Jones officially re-enters UFC testing pool, and this sends a clear warning message to the entire heavyweight division, especially current champion Tom Aspinall. What was supposed to be a permanent retirement has lasted exactly 2 weeks, and the implications are massive for the UFC's future plans. Stay tuned as we break down everything you need to know about Bones' shocking return and what it means for the sport.
Jon Jones returns to the testing pool. Now, that was 13 days after he was retired. Now, my audience, you guys, are very unique within this space, that you are armed with the information that retire in our sport is not a word like it is in other industries. Retire in our sport is a legal term.
Jon Jones has set a new record. Just 14 days ago, the MMA world watched as one of the greatest fighters of all time hung up his gloves, citing that he had accomplished everything he could in MMA. But here's where it gets interesting. New updates to the UFC's anti-doping website show Jones's name has mysteriously reappeared. This marks his third testing session for 2025, proving that behind the scenes, negotiations were likely happening while fans mourned the end of an era.
Yo, just wanted to wish you all a very happy and proud 4th of July. Hope you guys were safe this year and that no one lost any fingers or anything like that. Dutch, lay down. That's a good boy. USA.
The timing? Suspicious. Jones announced his retirement in mid-June. Conveniently around the same time, new charges were filed against him for a car accident incident in New Mexico. Coincidence? You be the judge. But what brought him back? 2 words: White House. When President Trump announced plans for a UFC event on the White House lawn for July 4th, 2026, part of America's semi-quincentennial celebration, suddenly Jones found his reason why.
So every one of our national park, battlefields, and historic sites are going to have special events in honor of America 250. And I even think we're going to have a UFC fight. Does anybody watch UFC, the Great Dana Well? We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this, on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build Dana's going to do it. Dana's great, one of a kind. Going to have a UFC fight, championship fight, full fight, like 25,000 people. And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible events, some professional events, some amateur events. But the UFC fight's going to be a big deal, too.
Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Tom Aspinall. The British powerhouse was promoted to undisputed heavyweight champion after Jones's retirement, and he's been nothing short of dominant. With an average fight time of just 2 minutes and 2 seconds, Aspinall has been steamrolling through the division. But here's what's truly remarkable, and slightly terrifying for his future opponents. Aspinall has spent only 0.01 seconds on his back during his entire UFC heavyweight run. That's not a typo. 0. 0.01 seconds.
I was never, ever just chasing Jon Jones. There's a lot of comparisons to Chandler chasing McGregor. I didn't care about a big fight or money. I cared about the heavyweight title. That's all I've ever been bothered about.
Former UFC fighter Josh Thompson believes he's found a potential kryptonite for the English champion, Jailton Almeida. The Brazilian grappling specialist holds the record for most ground control time in a single fight, 21 minutes and 10 seconds. Almeida has openly stated he wants to take Aspinall into deep waters and test him in areas we've never seen.
Tom Aspinall is waiting to see what Jon Jones does. Ciryl Gane is probably waiting to see what Tom Aspinall does. As a heavyweight who's on a roll and whose time is now, what is your message to those top-ranked guys who are sitting and waiting right now?
Listen, this whole Aspinall Jones thing, we hope it's going to happen. And we hope the UFC going to put that thing together and hope that fight. So Ciryl Gane is the only guy and only name that I've been calling for. This is the third time I'm here in a press conference out of the media room afterwards and asking for it. I don't care where it is. I don't care how it happens. In Brazil, in France, whatever. I'll go to them. Let's make it happen.
Thank you.
But first, Aspinall must get past Ciryl Gane at UFC 321, a fight that's been rescheduled 4 times. The question remains, is Jones's return putting additional pressure on Aspinall to prove himself before a potential super fight? You can't discuss Jon Jones without addressing the elephant in the room, controversy. Former UFC star Mark Hunt didn't mince words, calling Jones the greatest cheater of all time and a little rat. These aren't just bitter words from a defeated opponent. They reflect a pattern of behavior that's followed Jones throughout his career.
Sup? Just putting it out there. UFC, I'm in there if you want to put on someone for Jon Jones, if he wants to scrap. Ready to go. Give me a call, Dana. I already sent your message, bruv. Yeah.
The infamous 12-6 elbow controversy, multiple PED violations, and his use of oblique kicks that have ended careers, including his devastating impact on fighters like Quinton "Rampage" Jackson back in 2012. Jackson himself has called Jones the dirtiest fighter and recently admitted he wished he had studied Jones's footage before their fight.
Jon Jones is a great fighter, but he's the dirtiest fighter ever. They changed the gloves just because of Jon Jones. They formed them so they curve so you don't have your hands. So if you fight Jon Jones before they got the gloves in, he's going to poke you in the eye. And then if you advance and you doing anything good, you get the advantage, you're going to kick your knee backwards. I think that should be banned. And I kept asking the referee to get his fingers out my eye. We're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And because those two things that you can end somebody's career.
Even Joe Rogan, who's typically supportive of fighters' techniques, has expressed concerns about Jones's oblique kicks, stating they're definitely not good for business while acknowledging their effectiveness. The irony? The 12-6 elbow ban was lifted last year, and Jones is now seeking to overturn his only official loss to Matt Hamill. Whether you love him or hate him, Jones knows how to manipulate both the rules and public opinion. Here's where the story takes a fascinating turn.
When Jon Jones won that title at 23, it's just been destruction of everyone ever since. Never ducked anybody, fought all the best, destroyed everybody, dominated his division, went up to heavyweight, dominates at heavyweight.
So why?
He's just the greatest of all time. He's 37 years old, and he's still the greatest.
Dana White has promised that the White House card will be the baddest UFC event of all time, and he's named Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall as his dream main event. Jones himself revealed the timeline. Donald made his announcement on the morning of the 4th of July. I called UFC headquarters that very same afternoon. For Jones, this isn't about money anymore. It's about representing America on the biggest stage possible.
How sick is that for you that now you kind of got this White House event?
Literally everybody wants to fight on this card. Makes it a lot more fun.
Saw Jones not retired anymore.
Jump back in the pool. So
what would be the dream main event?
Aspinall versus Jones.
Is it possible that McGregor and Jones would fight on the same card?
Could be. We will absolutely positively put on the baddest card of all.
White has confirmed that Jones is officially back in the testing pool, stating simply, he jumped back in the pool. Oh yeah, it's official. The UFC's anti-doping policy typically requires 180 days of testing before return, but exceptions can be made for exceptional circumstances. Fighting at the White House for America's 250th anniversary, that definitely qualifies as exceptional.
This could be the fastest, best moving heavyweight fight that anybody's ever seen. We're both great movers, we're both light on our feet, we're both elusive. Both me and Ciryl have niche style for heavyweights. We don't fight like heavyweights, both of us,
So where does this leave us? Aspinall must first defend against Gane, while Jones prepares for what could be the biggest fight of his career. Not for titles or money, but for legacy and country. Conor McGregor has also re-entered the testing pool, expressing interest in the White House card. The pieces are falling into place for what could be the most star-studded UFC event in history.
Things are going great. The White House, Dana White said, you and Jon Jones, that's a real deal. I'm going home. I'm going to get the head down. I'm going to rest. They're testing me. I'm in the pool. I says, he goes, hey, man, I thought that's what the pools are for, jumping in and out. But I'm back in the pool. So get ready and stay ready because damage will be done. Oval Office, White House card.
Jon Jones's 2-week retirement might go down as the shortest in combat sports history, but the implications are massive. Whether you see him as the GOAT or the most controversial champion ever, one thing is certain: his return has sent shockwaves through the heavyweight division. Tom Aspinall's record-breaking dominance is about to face its ultimate test, and fight fans worldwide are here for it. Will we finally get the Jones versus Aspinall super fight we've been waiting for? Only time will tell. What do you think? Is Jones's return good for the sport, or is this just another chapter in his controversial legacy? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more breaking MMA news, and we'll see you in the next one. Jon Jones just destroyed Dana White with the most savage response you've ever seen. After Dana gave him a 2-week ultimatum, Jones fired back with a message that will shock you. Plus, Tom Aspinall just leaked his next fight announcement, and it's not what you think.
Jon Jones has never turned down an opponent here or been afraid to fight anybody.
So if, for instance, he doesn't fight this guy, who would you like to see him fight? Or are you going to wait until he fights this guy?
I don't know. We'll see how this thing plays out over the next couple weeks. But yeah, if we can't get this fight done, we'll move on quickly.
I was going to say, Dana, my last thought on that. How long are you going to wait? I mean, how long is it worth waiting for?
I said a couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah, we'll have answers in the next couple weeks.
Plus, Tom Aspinall just leaked his next fight announcement, and it's not what you think. Jon Jones is literally telling the entire UFC, I'm untouchable, and when you hear what he said next, your jaw will drop. This is about to get absolutely insane, and the ending will blow your mind. Don't you dare click away, because this is the most explosive UFC drama of 2025. Jon Jones just changed everything.
Well, this is not an exclusive. I said this before on other media outlets. I've got a fight coming up soon, so I can't say anything else other than that, really.
To clarify, you said that Jon agreed to fight Tom, yes?
Jon agreed to fight Tom?
Is that what you just said there? Before, like on the last answer, you said...
Jon agreed to fight Tom, yes.
So but he hasn't signed a contract or anything?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you guys have heard me for the last however long. I said, I guarantee you this fight's going to happen. This fight's going to happen. Fight's going to happen. You guys told me the crazy shit that was going on Instagram and all these other places. But yes, I've been saying Jon is going to fight Tom.
So there's some rumors out there that you guys had offered him his fuck you money and he turned it down.
Unless you hear it come from here or we put out a press release, don't believe any of this bullshit. But yes, Jon agreed to fight Tom. Fact.
Dana White recently went public claiming that Jon Jones had agreed to fight interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall. According to White, Jones accepted the deal and was ready to unify the heavyweight titles. But here's where it gets interesting. Jones is now pushing back hard against these claims. The former pound-for-pound king took to social media with a series of posts that can only be described as a direct challenge to both the UFC and Tom Aspinall. In his most telling post, Jones wrote, "I've never claimed to be the best, but somehow I keep ending up with my hand raised. Jones haters are frustrated these days." But that's just the beginning. Jones doubled down with another post stating, "And remember, you can't strip a guy like me at this point. I give the belt up freely." He even added the Latin phrase, Veni Vidi Vici, I came, I saw, I conquered, with a kiss emoji. This is Jones essentially telling Dana White, you don't control me. Dana White is clearly losing patience. The UFC president has now issued what appears to be an ultimatum to Jon Jones. Speaking on the Jim Rome show, White said, "We'll see how this thing plays out over the next couple of weeks. If we can't get this fight done, we'll move on quickly. We'll have answers in the next couple weeks.
Jon Jones has never turned down an opponent here or been afraid to fight anybody.
So if, for instance, he doesn't fight this guy, who would you like to see him fight? Or are you going to wait until he fights this guy?
I don't know. We'll see how this thing plays out over the next couple weeks. But yeah, if we can't get this fight done, we'll move on quickly.
I was going to say, Dana, my last thought on that. How long are you going to wait? I mean, how long is it worth waiting for?
I said a couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah, we'll have answers in the next couple weeks.
This is huge. White is basically giving Jones a 2-week deadline to make up his mind. The UFC boss even admitted, you can't make people fight. If Jon doesn't want to fight, you can't make him fight. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. Jones' response to this ultimatum was nothing short of legendary. Just hours after Dana's deadline announcement, Jones fired back on social media with this savage tweet. And remember, you can't strip a guy like me at this point. I give the belt up freely, Veni Vidi Vici. Let that sink in. Jones just told the most powerful man in MMA that he's untouchable. The Latin phrase Veni Vidi Vici means I came, I saw, I conquered. And that kiss emoji? That's Jones literally blowing a kiss at Dana White's ultimatum.
What are your thoughts on the whole memes with Dana? I love it, bro. I love it. At this point, I can tell that Dana, he definitely knows what he's doing. But it's great, bro. Who wouldn't want that type of relationship with their boss?
Yeah, he's awesome.
I mean?
He's a good guy.
He changed my life. Yeah, completely changed my life. You know,
Yeah.
like I feel like with my past and some of the trouble I used to get into, I would have been fired from most jobs. You know, Dana has given me so many chances to call me the best. I have to train hard. I have to believe that I'm the best. I have to put on great performances. I have to carry myself like a gentleman and like a man and prove I'm right. Dana White is the absolute best.
But wait, it gets even better. The UFC apparently agreed to pay Jones what they are calling FU money for this fight. They broke their own pay structure to accommodate him, and he still might walk away. That's the kind of power Jon Jones wields in this organization. Jon Jones isn't just making statements, he's conducting full-scale psychological warfare through social media. Let's break down his most explosive posts.
Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes. Jon is conning the public. The fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year.
Is that fight fucking happening?
The UFC are saying that it's going to happen. I think it's down to him and Dana.
Dana loves Jon Jones.
He's trying to grease up his ego a little bit. I think he's one of the best fighters ever. Definitely top 3. That's debatable when you start putting in about drug tests and stuff like that, I think.
Damn. What drug are you talking about specifically?
Yeah.
First, he took direct shots at Tom Aspinall, calling him Tommy Boy and saying, he is no threat to me whatsoever. He should start with just trying to be the best heavyweight of all time. That goal would be plenty. My career is on a completely different planet, if we're being honest.
He's annoying to me. He's annoying to me. And that's my own personal, he annoys me. I get to you guys, you find it entertaining. But I find him annoying. And I just don't like him. And at the end of the day, if I give him the opportunity to fight me, I want to be so compensated. I want to say it, I want that fuck you money, honestly. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Or else my life is perfect without him. I don't need him at all. And he needs me. And that's a good place to be in a negotiation.
But here's the most revealing part. Jones admitted he's been playing games this entire time. He posted, I spoke to the UFC a long time ago about what my future plans were. I haven't really worked out since my last fight in New York City. I believe it's been in the UFC's best interest to keep presenting me as the company's champion, not Tom. And then came the knockout punch. I've just been playing the role of the company man by doing nothing at all and holding the position. And truthfully, it's been incredibly lucrative. I've made more money off of Tom being the interim champ than Tom has himself. This is Jones essentially admitting he's been stringing everyone along while collecting paychecks. He even posted a photo with the caption, rent-free, kept the attention of an entire country while doing nothing at all.
Well, this is not an exclusive. I've said this before on other media outlets. I've got a fight coming up soon, so I can't say anything else other than that, really.
And now for some breaking news that just dropped. Tom Aspinall has just teased what appears to be an imminent fight announcement. The interim heavyweight champion posted cryptic messages suggesting his next fight is about to be revealed. and sources close to the situation are saying it might not be Jon Jones. Aspinall has been waiting patiently since his 60-second demolition of Curtis Blaydes last July. The interim heavyweight champion has been the model professional, but even he's starting to show frustration. Aspinall has publicly stated that he believes Jones is essentially retired and that he'll be fighting for the full title next, with or without Jones.
I saw an interview where it said you and John are aligned, and you guys have decided together to allow for the UFC to tell you what you're doing. Is that true?
No, man, John's retired. What are we talking about, guys?
What do you mean?
John, you guys don't follow John on social media?
I don't follow him on social media. He said that.
No, me too, actually. Me too. But the guy is living his best life. He's had a fantastic career. We all know. We know John's a religious man, so I want to say God bless him moving forward in what he does with his life and his career. And you know, we move on. We move on. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to take on all comers, get this division moving again. Us guys have been waiting around too long. You know, the contenders are getting sick of it. Everybody's getting sick of it. Even the fans are getting sick of this stuff. So John's retired, and it's time that we move on.
But here's the wild card that nobody saw coming. Alex Pereira. The former two-division champion recently posted a weight check showing him at a massive 243.8 pounds, which is significantly higher than his usual 230-pound walking weight. UFC fans are going absolutely crazy theorizing that Pereira might be preparing to move up to heavyweight to face Aspinall if the Jones situation falls through. The timing is too perfect to be a coincidence. Just as Jones is playing games with his title, Pereira shows up looking like a heavyweight monster. Social media is exploding with theories. Alex moving up to fight Aspinall for the undisputed heavyweight belt? Imagine he's fighting Aspinall instead of Jones. Alex versus Tom for the belt.
Joe Rogan saying that he is supporting the idea of Pereira versus Aspinall. We know Aspinall will do it. He already tried at 300. We know Pereira will do it. He has a chance to set history. Champ is not likely to ever happen to any of us. Again, there's a really big population that wants to see Jon Jones versus Pereira. There's a really big population that would rather see Jon Jones versus Aspinall. The winner of Ankalaev of Rachik is going to take on Pereira, okay?
Sure.
Whatever your level of excitement for that is going to be. It still does not equal how badly you would like to see Pereira taking on Tom. The announcement of what Pereira and Tom are going to do, or if we're going to get Pereira and Tom together, that announcement is going to come prior to Rachik and Ankalaev fighting. And if you like this idea, and you know the power of social media, turn it up. Even though that fight's not going to be for 6 months, now is the time to get that fight made.
This could actually be the UFC's ace in the hole. If Jones vacates or gets stripped, an Aspinall versus Pereira fight for the undisputed heavyweight title would be absolutely massive. Pereira could become the first three-weight UFC champion in history, and honestly, it might be a bigger draw than Jones versus Aspinall at this point. This situation exposes some serious issues within the UFC's power structure. Jon Jones is essentially holding the entire heavyweight division hostage, and there's not much Dana White can do about it. A petition to strip Jones of his title is approaching 200,000 signatures, showing how frustrated fans are becoming.
There is a signature to strip Jon Jones.
I
a
saw
petition.
that. Did you sign it?
That's
You
over
signed it, didn't you?
70,000.
You signed it, didn't you?
I did.
I'm gonna search the database.
I didn't search it.
I'm gonna find your email on there.
But dude, that's 70,000 signatures.
Man, it's annoying.
The UFC is in a lose-lose situation here. If they strip Jones, they lose one of their biggest stars. If they don't, they risk further damaging the credibility of their championship system. Meanwhile, legitimate contenders like Tom Aspinall are stuck in limbo. Jones's recent posts suggest he's been planning this all along, maximizing his earning potential while doing minimal work. He's admitted to not even training since his last fight, yet he's still collecting championship money and keeping his name in the headlines. So there you have it. Jon Jones has sent his warning loud and clear. He's not intimidated by Dana White's ultimatum, he's not impressed by Tom Aspinall's skills, and he's making it crystal clear that he'll leave on his own terms or not at all. The next 2 weeks are going to be crucial for the UFC heavyweight division. Will Jones finally agree to fight Aspinall? Will he vacate and retire? Or will we see Alex Pereira step up as the surprise replacement? One thing's for sure. Jon Jones is going out exactly how he's always operated, on his own terms and with maximum drama. What do you think? Should the UFC strip Jones immediately, or should they wait and see if he changes his mind? Let us know in the comments below and make sure to subscribe for all the latest UFC news and updates.
That stuff. So if, for instance, he doesn't fight this guy, who would you like to see him fight? Or are you going to wait until he fights this guy?
I don't know. We'll see how this thing plays out over the next couple weeks. But yeah, if we can't get this fight done, we'll move on quickly.
UFC president sent a final warning to Jon Jones regarding the Long Dell's heavyweight title unification bout against Tom Aspinall. In a sharp statement during a recent appearance on the Jim Rome show, White made the promotion's stance crystal clear. If we can't get this fight done, we'll move on quickly. The message was loud and clear, and it's now reverberating across the MMA world. With Jones remaining silent for months, the pressure is mounting. Fans, fighters, and UFC executives alike are growing restless, demanding clarity. The clock is ticking.
Because I know you're sick of the question. Does Jon Jones not want to fight, or does Jon Jones just not want to fight Tom Aspinall?
Listen, Jon Jones has been an interesting human being to deal with since the day he got here. But I will say this about him. Jon Jones has never turned down an opponent here or been afraid to fight anybody.
If, for instance, he doesn't fight this guy, who would you like to see him fight? Or are you going to wait until he fights this guy?
I don't know. We'll see how this thing plays out over the next couple weeks. But yeah, if we can't get this fight done, we'll move on quickly.
How long are you going to wait? I mean, how long is it worth waiting for?
I said a couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah, we'll have answers in the next couple weeks.
For the longest time, this fight seemed inevitable. The legendary Jon Bones Jones, considered by many as the greatest of all time, facing off against the hungry, dangerous interim champ Tom Aspinall in a clash for undisputed greatness. But after months of speculation, social media hints, and complete silence from Jones's camp, it's clear the UFC is done playing games.
In boxing, you got a million divisions and you got 5 or 6 champions at each weight. I think there should be like one face, one name every division. I obviously want it to be me, whereas John's like doing some weird stuff about it. Like I say, the problem isn't with John. The problem is the fact that he's sitting on the belt and not doing anything.
Tom Aspinall has held the interim heavyweight title since his jaw-dropping first-round knockout win over Sergey Pavlov in November 2023. He followed that up with an even more dominant performance, finishing Curtis Blades in just one round in July 2024. That victory cemented him not just as interim champ, but as one of the most dangerous men in the division. Yet despite his accomplishments, Aspinall remains in limbo, stuck waiting for a title unification bout that's long overdue.
I see a lot of people, comparing me to Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler waited for a long time for Conor McGregor and stuff like that. Great. I'm not looking to fight Jon Jones. I'm looking to fight for the undisputed heavyweight champion. That's what I want to be. I want to be the UFC undisputed heavyweight champion.
Meanwhile, Jon Jones returned to the octagon in late 2024 and defeated Stipe Miocic in what many considered a legacy fight. Since then, he's gone dark. No callouts, no contracts signed, no indication of when or if he plans to fight again. Rumors have swirled ever since. Was Jones recovering from injury? Was he focused on TV appearances? Was he negotiating for a massive payday? Some sources even claimed he demanded up to $30 million, 0 cents, to face Aspinall, a figure more commonly seen in the boxing world than the UFC.
Aspinall, I think they're trying to come to some sort of an agreement. The rumor is that he wants $30 million, and the UFC is going to pay it.
When asked if Jones was ducking Aspinall, Dana White stood firm. Jon Jones has never said, "I don't want to fight that guy." Not once. He even defended Jones' record, referencing the infamous UFC 151 cancellation in 2012 when Jones's fight with Dan Henderson was scrapped after Henderson's injury and a proposed late replacement in Chael Sonnen was declined. White emphasized it was Jones' coach, not Jones, who made that decision.
The only time that anything remotely weird has ever happened with Jon Jones was the time that his in camp did the weird Chael Sonnen thing. We can't fight Chael Sonnen on short notice. Other than that, and that wasn't him, it was his team, and he listened to his team for whatever reason. But that's like the goofiest fucking move in the history of the UFC. Just to talk about that too, when you talk about Jon Jones at that time when that happened, that's the other thing about this sport right now. Not only the fighters are they willing to step up, but the coaches. A lot of these guys go to their coaches and their coaching staff and say, we're being offered this fight on short notice. Jon Jones coaches told him not to do it.
But despite White's defense, the reality is clear. It's been nearly a year since Jones fought, and Aspinall is still stuck, waiting, wasting prime fighting years. Even fellow champions are speaking